I don't know how to explain this, but this movie is peak unk cinema. I can see a lot of older audiences liking this movie more than younger audiences, but I am a bit of an old soul at heart, so it works out in my favor. So Highest to Lowest is the latest film from Spike Lee. The film stars Denzel Washington, Ilfenesh Hedera, Jeffrey Wright, and A$AP Rocky. When a powerful music mogul is targeted by a ransom plot, he is forced to fight for his family and legacy, while jammed up in a life or death moral dilemma. Now, Spike Lee is a man that needs no introduction. He is easily one of the most prominent and most influential filmmakers of all time. Spike Lee has given us timeless classics, but he's also given us some unfortunate stinkers. So I was cautiously optimistic going into this movie, and I'm happy to say that Spike Lee still has some juice left in the tank. Also, for the record, I do want to say that I am very aware that this is an American remake of High to Low, a Japanese film from Akira Kurosawa. I have not seen that movie, so I will not speak on it, nor will I be comparing it to this movie, so just a heads up. The entire cast is amazing without a doubt. As you could imagine, like always, Denzel Washington was tremendous. When you put Spike Lee's passionate directing and combine it with Denzel's commanding presence, you know you're in for an all-timer. Denzel shines in every scene that he's in, from his fast pacing and clever dialogue, to his cool demeanor, to even just his aura alone. When he walks in a room, everyone is looking. And although I loved Denzel's performance, I think Jeffrey Wright's performance was the one that stood out to me the most. So Jeffrey Wright plays a character who is a former convict who has turned his life around for the better. And a traumatic event happens to his son. And you see in the film how he's trying so hard to work with the police while not lose his cool. And the feds are already giving him a dirty look given his background. And Jeffrey Wright brings in this level of rawness and authenticity to the role. From his reactions to his demeanor, to his anger, to his sadness. And out of all of the characters, he was the one that I connected with probably the deepest. I think I was the most surprised with A$AP Rocky. So technically A$AP Rocky has acted before this movie, and he's co-starring in another upcoming A24 film. So acting isn't really a foreign concept to Rocky. But I must admit, given the range and accolades that Denzel Washington has, A$AP Rocky was able to keep up. So Rocky plays a rapper named Young Felon, which that name alone tells you all you need to know. But he is this rapper that wants to get a record label under David King. But we see this man go above and beyond and take extremely drastic measures to get King's attention. But there is a scene where him and Denzel are going at it toe to toe in the studio room, and that was one of the best scenes in the entire movie because not only was it unpredictable, but the dialogue was sharp and very well written. Spike Lee was in his bag when he wrote that entire scene. One thing to me that's funny is that when musical artists suddenly want to get into acting, I always get a little scared. Some deliver to the fullest and some unfortunately do not. But A$AP Rocky delivered, and if he's not going to do music anymore given where his life is right now, at least he can give us great acting performances. Going back to the dialogue is very well written in this movie. With the way this movie is written, Spike Lee brings up a lot of very interesting conversations that are going on in the world, which is something that he has done in quite literally all of his movies. But Spike Lee managed to tell a story that is gripping, intense, and best of all, unpredictable. I don't want to talk about the story because there was a lot to it, but things go from like good to bad to worse, and I mean that in the best way possible. One thing you cannot deny about Spike Lee is that he loves his city. There are a plethora of shots that makes New York City look like a utopia. The way he captures the landscapes, to the skyscrapers, to the overall culture of New York City is beautiful. But what I love the most about this movie is how Spike Lee incorporates music into the story. The soundtrack to this film is mesmerizing. There are moments where the music just overall complements the scenery. For example, there is a scene where Denzel Washington and Jeffrey Wright are riding in the car, and there is no dialogue, but the only thing you hear is The Payback by James Brown. And hearing that song, knowing the full context of the scene, made it 1,000 times more mesmerizing and unforgettable. Do y'all remember that one scene from Miami Vice where those two guys are driving in the car and there's no dialogue, but all you hear is In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins? Same energy. That scene had to have been a reference to Miami Vice, like there's no way it wasn't. And even the opening act, there is this song, I forgot who wrote it, but it's called Beautiful Morning, and that song not only complimented the morning that David King is having, but it also highlighted the beauty of New York City. Scenes like that were executed immaculately. This movie tackles tackles a lot of themes. For example, class division and morality, the fears of AI taking over the music industry and its lack of creativity, the unhealthy relationship that fans have with artists that they admire, passive-aggressive racism, and of course, the corrupting influence of wealth and power. I could talk way more about all of these themes, but we'll be here all day. As entertained as I was with this movie, I had a very big problem with the third act. There were moments in that third act where I really questioned the intelligence of character decision making. So to give you guys a little bit more context, there is a scene in the second act where David King agrees to give young Felon the ransom money, but David King is working with the feds to try and catch young Felon. But in the second act, we see how the police's plan backfires and young Felon gets away with the money. And mind you, young Felon had a whole crew to help pull off this heist. He gets the money, but in the third act, he hides the money in the most obvious hiding spot imaginable. I don't know if young Felon is an idiot or is that just bad writing on Spike Lee's part. I don't know. And of course, there were other moments where I really questioned the decision making of certain characters, but you know what? It is what it is. Moments like that to me stood out like a sore thumb. But in the end, guys, Highest to Lowest is a solid installment in Spike Lee's discography. It's not my favorite Spike Lee film, but the performances, the sharp dialogue, and the music are unforgettable. And they carry this movie heavily. Regardless about this movie, Spike Lee is still one of the greatest. So plugging Highest to Lowest. Into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pass zone. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my review for Highest to Lowest. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your favorite Spike Lee film of all time? And why does it do the right thing? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all in the next one.